Charlie here. I'm a wellbeing coach with Isorropia, and today I am delighted to be bringing to you a video on the topic of confidence and self-esteem. This video will bring to you some of the material that we like to deliver in-house and aims to outline the importance of confidence and self-esteem with regards to our mental well-being, explore the difference between confidence and self-esteem, and most importantly, how it is that we might start to actively improve our confidence and self-esteem going forward. If you recognise yourself in anything that I bring to the table today, do not hesitate to join us this afternoon for our live Q&A session, where you'll have the chance to bounce around some ideas and questions with our team of lived, experienced coaches. Now, on with the video. I'd like to open with a question. What came first, your lack of confidence and self-esteem, or was it your mental well-being issues? Personally, I believe that people experience so much hurt, tragedy and challenging situations in their lives that it lowers their confidence and self-esteem so much that they start experiencing so many common well-being issues like anxiety or depression. What we may find if we take the time to reflect on the question is that our confidence and our ability to function in the outside world and our self-worth and self-respect are some of the first things to go when we find ourselves tumbling into our problems. And lacking confidence and self-esteem can be one of the key attributes that keeps us locked into our illnesses. For me, low confidence and self-esteem could be at the very centre of our issues. With low self-esteem or confidence, we're more likely to experience anxiety, creating bigger threats in our own minds or underestimating our abilities to cope. And as we withdraw into ourselves and disconnect from the things which matter in our lives, we may start to experience low mood as well. The good news is that if we're suffering from low confidence and self-esteem, it is empowering. There are plenty of steps we can actively take to improve these. They're not fixed. If we can work on our confidence and self-esteem, we may find many of our other struggles also improve. Now, for a few reflections on the nature of confidence. If I asked you all to stand up in front of an audience of 200 strangers and to share your experiences of your own journey through mental health, who here would do it? If you do that, I'd tip my invisible cap to you. However, I expect there are very few of us who would push ourselves outside of our comfort zones as easily as that. But to continue with this train of thought, what if I offered you £100? A few of us might start to seriously consider it, and a few of us might even go for it. What if I offered you £1,000? The incentive is growing, and a few more of us might find ourselves getting on that stage for that presentation. What if I offered you £10,000? £100,000? What about £1 million? What we can learn from this is that although we may not be feeling confident, most people find the courage to be confident when there is a good enough reward. This can be money, a new job, a relationship, or progress of any kind, whether materialistic or in a feeling. So, to that end, what is it that motivates you and gives you confidence? What this tells us is that we often have confidence within us, even if it's buried quite deep down and needs an incentive of £1,000 or more to get it, but it is there. Our goal is going to be to transfer this kind of attitude and strength towards the areas of our lives which help us in reaching our ultimate goal, the goal of overcoming our issues and reaching contentment. And is there no bigger reward? Understanding this, a couple of questions to think on. Where do you feel most confident? And where would you like to feel more confident? So, what is confidence? Confidence can be simply defined as believing in oneself. This relates to the expectations that we carry about our ability to carry out a task and describes how well we can self-reflect as we go through either good or bad situations. What this tells us is that confidence relates to our beliefs about our ability to function externally, that is, our ability to function in the world around us. If you believe that you will never have success and happiness, then you may lack confidence going forward, and this will likely be the case. However, if you believe that you are a kind person and you can learn by your mistakes and achievements, then you'll be more confident in finding happiness, success, achievement, and all of the things that you want from life. Confidence can also relate to trust, or trusting in our own abilities. When we know how to do something, we will approach it with more confidence and are more likely to move forwards with an increased experimental attitude and to take more risks towards leading to a greater payoff. When you're feeling better about your capabilities, you will feel more energized and motivated towards taking action and achieving your goals. An example for you. If I carried beliefs of not being capable of being able to socialise, what do you think I might do if I was invited to a party? I'd likely struggle, and I'd probably avoid the event altogether. In this case, my beliefs, or lack of confidence, have directly affected my actions. To that end, what beliefs are you carrying that might make you less confident in the areas that you want to work on? So, if confidence is our beliefs relating to our ability to perform in the outside world, what is self-esteem? Self-esteem is similar to confidence, however there are some key differences. Self-esteem relies on confidence, but is also about your belief in your overall self-worth. Self-esteem is made up of the confidence we have in our ability to cope with life's challenges, as well as our self-respect, or another way of looking at it, the belief that we deserve happiness, love, and success. Self-esteem reflects how we feel about ourselves, and it directly relates to what we feel we deserve. If we carry damaging beliefs as not being good enough, being unworthy, or being broken, then we may find ourselves struggling with our self-esteem. Whereas confidence relates to our ability to perform in the external world, self-esteem is internal and relates to our own sense of worth, but both are related to beliefs. Self-esteem has been described as an essential human need that is vital for survival and healthy development, and without it we may find ourselves coming up against regular challenges. In fact, self-esteem is so important that it has been hypothesized that underpinning almost every single mental well-being issue is a set of negative self-esteem beliefs. With these toxic beliefs, we can find ourselves on unstable ground where many of life's challenges can easily knock us sideways. Understanding this, we're going to want to empower ourselves to improve our self-esteem. I'd like to introduce to you the positive confidence cycle, a cycle that anybody can find themselves accessing when we make the conscious decision to challenge ourselves through action. Recognizing that confidence and self-esteem comes from an individual's beliefs, holding a positive belief may lead to ambition in terms of thought, and from this ambition we may find ourselves setting higher goals. As our expectations grow, we will find ourselves becoming more motivated to meet them, and as we step forward and start to meet our goals, we will find successes and take pride in our achievements. This in turn builds more confidence and self-esteem in the mind, and so the cycle continues. Relating this to ourselves, accessing this cycle has to be our end goal. But how are we going to access this positive cycle? By changing our frame of mind and taking positive action. Self-esteem can be built in the same way as confidence. We need to change our beliefs and mindset by creating new, healthier experiences moving forward. There are many ways of doing this, and here at Isorropia we highly recommend that you fully engage in the materials across all of our wellbeing topics to learn and action as many tools and skills as possible. After all, there are many tools and skills we can learn to build our confidence and self-esteem, but we must make a conscious effort to practice and action them in our daily lives. Relating this back to confidence and self-esteem, we can start to make changes by challenging our thoughts, visualizing and practicing confidence before an event, by practicing speaking well to ourselves, by recognizing our strengths and practicing gratitude, by clarifying and planning our goals, by taking risks, trying new things and leaving our comfort zones, being a part of a community and reaching out to those that we trust, and finally by starting to believe that we matter and deserve happiness, success and achievement. In particular, today we are going to spend some time looking at how we might visualize and imagine confidence, practice speaking well to ourselves, take risks in leaving our comfort zones, and how we might join a positive community. Looking at visualizing and imagining confidence, has anyone done a dress rehearsal before going into a situation they want to feel confident in? I know that I've done this countless times, before exams, interviews, or even workshops, and this technique has been proven time and time again to build confidence. The skill is a type of rehearsal and will start instilling confidence in your mind before the event has even happened. Fundamentally, the brain cannot tell the difference between our imagination and reality, and both activate similar neural pathways. In fact, an interesting study was done on this theory several years ago, and in the study, two groups of people were asked to learn and play a song on the piano. Both groups were given the same amount of time to practice and the same time frame in which to learn to play the music, but with one stark difference. Whilst one group were given a piano to practice with, the other group were asked to merely visualize themselves playing the piano. At the end of the study, both groups were hooked up to a machine to check which areas of the brain had been activated and had grown, and the results were remarkable. In both groups, regardless of whether they had practiced on an actual piano or not, both groups showed the same areas of growth and the same activation of neural pathways. But what does this tell us? That imagining an event is just as potent as doing the event itself. Translating this to confidence, if we take the time to visualize ourselves going through the event, then we are tricking our brain into already feeling that success, which will make it easier for us when we come up against the obstacle itself. This means that we really want to start to think about what we want to feel more confident in and how this will feel, look, and sound like. Ask yourselves these questions and make sure to visualize. What do you want to be more confident in? Imagine you are at the event. If you were confident, what would your surroundings look like? If you were confident, what would that event sound like? And if you were confident, what would the whole situation feel like? It's always delightful to get good feedback from others. However, always seeking approval from outside is an easy and potentially dangerous trap to fall into. Approve of yourself. Be the one to say the words of encouragement that you long to hear. Speak to yourself with self-compassion, kindness, and encouragement. After all, the most important relationship you have in your life is with yourself, so it's worth making it a good one. The power of positive self-talk can truly turn your mindset around and increase your confidence and self-esteem no end. It can lift your general well-being, increase your vitality, give you greater life satisfaction, and reduce stress and anxiety. First, you need to recognize negative thinking, thought distortions, and biases. When you recognize types of negative thinking, you can work to turn them into a positive. This takes practice, time, and an open mindset. Recognizing the power that our inner narrative has, try to recognize some of your own self-talk and turn them around to more positive language. This will also help to flip your thoughts around. So for instance, if the negative was, "I'll disappoint everyone if I change my mind," that could become, "I have the power to change my mind and others will understand." If you find yourself saying, "I failed and embarrassed myself," this could become, "I'm proud of myself for even trying. That took courage." If you find yourself thinking, "I am overweight and out of shape, I may as well not bother," we could flip this around to, "I'm heavier than I'd like to be, and the power to change lies with me." If you found yourself thinking, "I've done this before and I'll be bad at it," what could that become? Have a think on that and see what the positive could be. By changing the way that we speak to ourselves is going to be the first thing that you want to change. If you speak terribly to yourself, then that is going to directly reflect in how you feel. I used to talk badly to myself, and although it started out automatically, I eventually found myself believing it. So time to take risks, try new things, and leave your comfort zone. Each of us has our own comfort zone, which is a psychological, emotional, and behavioural framework that defines the routines of our daily lives. Being in our comfort zones implies familiarity, safety, and security. Creating a comfort zone is a healthy adaptation for much of our lives, but so is stepping out of our comfort zones when it is time to transition, grow, and transform. If all you ever do is stay wrapped up in your little cocoon, keeping warm and cozy, you might be missing out on a lot, like new experiences, challenges, positive risks, and connections. Looking at the bigger picture, if you can't step out of your comfort zone, you may experience difficulty making changes or transitioning, growing, and ultimately transforming. In other words, all those things that define who you are and give your life meaning. Relating this to the topic, nobody starts out confident. Nobody is born a master of anything. For instance, if I took up archery, an area I have no skill or confidence in, you wouldn't expect me to feel confident at hitting a bullseye the first time I took to the range. However, after 6 months of solid practice, my confidence has increased. We can learn to be confident by directly challenging our beliefs through action. This translates to our self-esteem as well, as we learn to take new risks and challenges and take pride in our accomplishments along the way. There is no surer way to boost our self-esteem than by doing this. You have no idea what you're truly made of unless you venture outside of your own familiar world. So take new risks as they are growth experiences and leave your comfort zone. Consider the following questions. What new task will you commit to action this week? How does this commitment make you feel? What will be the benefits of trying this? What are the benefits of staying in your familiar comfort zone? And what are the costs of staying in your familiar comfort zone? Remember, there is no such thing as failing if you get something out of the experience. As you take steps, you will inevitably learn and grow along the way. And this leads us to the final idea: join a community. Many of us may struggle to ask for help due to a fear of rejection or being seen as incompetent. A core feature of self-confidence lies in being valued by others and having a sense of belonging within our communities. This is fundamental to personal well-being. When we play a positive role in our families, friendships and communities, we rightly feel good about ourselves. We feel that we are fulfilling a greater, more meaningful purpose in our lives, and we regain that sense of connection. Being a part of a community of like-minded people with common interests leads to empowerment, and from this confidence and self-esteem grows. So ask yourself, are you or have you been a part of a community? How did that sense of belonging boost your self-esteem? It's important to remember that collaboration amongst people creates the most powerful results. When we reach out to others, we can see our efforts flourish in ways that we could never achieve on our own. Ask yourself these questions. What does community mean to you? What community would you like to be a part of? What could being part of a community do for you? But also, what can you do for someone else? Doing an act of kindness produces the most reliable increase in momentary well-being compared to any other exercise, and we'll want to remember this going forwards. A takeaway message for us. Confidence waxes and wanes and takes work to build, develop and maintain. We all experience moments which challenge our confidence. However, when we understand the sources of healthy confidence, we can always work on cultivating it within ourselves. You may not recognise it yet, but you are already confident. We're not encouraging you to climb a mountain. You're already nearly there. You don't need loads more confidence. It's going to be about taking what we've got, building on it a little bit and transferring that confidence, positivity and attitude into the areas that you want it most. Take this work forwards. Be the ones to challenge yourselves each time you meet a new target. After all, the power to change starts and ends with you. If you've identified an area of need, then fantastic. We will be providing plenty more tools and techniques for all of us to start working on these areas through our workshops, which focus on specific topics, our Facebook Lives, and our foundation course, which consolidates all of these concepts. A final question to reflect on. What is one thing you're going to do this week to start working on your confidence and self-esteem? Hopefully, you've enjoyed a glimpse into the material that we like to discuss in-house, and this video has given you some food for thought. If you've had your curiosity piqued and you feel like you'd like some support, do not hesitate to seek a referral to our service, where we can give you hands-on support and advice. Otherwise, please don't hesitate to hang around for the live Q&A session taking place this afternoon, where our coaches can answer any and all questions that may have come up from this video or otherwise. See you then. Take care.